Ladies, let me tell you something. Turning 60 is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of a whole new chapter. But here's the truth. Not everything that made sense when you were younger still fits the life you have now. And that's okay. In fact, it's freeing. So today, I want to share with you 12 things that simply don't make sense for women after 60. And please stay with me until the end, because number 12, it might just change the way you see yourself forever. Digart, before we dive in, tap that like button if you agree that life after 60 is about thriving, not just surviving. And comment below, what's the biggest lesson you've learned after turning 60? I'd love to hear your wisdom. All right, let's begin. 1. Chasing beauty like we're still 30. For most of our lives, we were told beauty meant youth. Smooth skin, slim waist, perfect hair. And the message was always the same. Fix yourself. Creams, dyes, surgeries, all promising to turn back the clock. But after 60, here's the truth. Beauty isn't about looking younger. It's about looking alive. Radiance today shows up in the sparkle in your eyes when your grandchild runs to hug you. It's in the laugh lines you've earned after decades of joy. And it's in the confidence of showing up exactly as you are. So instead of spending hundreds chasing youth, spend it on what makes you feel alive. A new hobby, a special trip, or simply a day that makes your heart light. Digar. Do you believe women become more beautiful as they age? Tell me in the comments. I want to know what you think. 2. Holding on to too much stuff. Here's something I've learned. The more things you hold on to, the more stress you carry. That overstuffed closet, it's not just physical clutter, it's mental weight. Those boxes of maybe one day clothes, stacks of magazines, or unused gifts we feel guilty letting go of, they weigh us down. But after 60, clutter doesn't serve us anymore. Decluttering isn't about getting rid of things. It's about making space. Space for movement in your home, space for peace in your mind, and space for joy in your life. Start with one drawer. Hold each item and ask, does this still bring me joy or serve a purpose? If the answer is no, thank it for its time and let it go. The lightness you'll feel will surprise you. Digar. 3. Fighting battles that aren't ours. As women, we've spent decades being peacemakers, jumping in to solve family disputes, standing up for others, smoothing over conflicts. But after 60, here's the secret. Not every battle is ours to fight. Your grown children arguing about who should host Thanksgiving? Your instinct might be to step in, but all that does is drain your energy and leave you stuck in the crossfire. The same goes for old grudges or neighborly feuds. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace of mind? Most of the time, the answer is no. And sometimes the most powerful move is simply to step back and let others work it out. Because after 60, you've earned the right to protect your happiness above all else. Digar. Which of these first 3 spoke to you most? Chasing beauty, clutter, or fighting battles? Leave me a comment, and I'd love to hear your story. 4. Saying yes to everything. For years, we thought being busy meant being valuable. So we filled our calendars. Birthdays, community events, bake sales, fundraisers. But here's the cost. When you say yes to everyone else, you end up saying no to yourself. I'll never forget the Sunday I skipped my quiet morning tea and journaling because I'd agreed to a fundraiser I didn't even enjoy. I came home exhausted, And it hit me. My time is no longer infinite. Now I ask two simple questions before agreeing to anything. Will this truly make me happy? And do I have the energy for it? If the answer is no, I politely decline. And guess what? People understand. When your schedule reflects joy instead of obligation, you start to feel free again. Digar. 5. Chasing perfection. Oh, perfection. The spotless house, the perfectly matched table setting, the hair that never moves out of place. I used to chase it. One Thanksgiving, I spent days polishing silver and ironing tablecloths, only to be too exhausted to laugh with my family once they arrived. And here's what I realized. No one noticed the centerpiece I crafted, or that my napkins matched the dessert plates. What they noticed was my absence. After 60, perfection is too expensive. It costs you the very moments you should be savoring. So let the cake sink in the middle. Let a little dust sit on the shells. What people value most is your warmth, your laughter, and your presence. Perfection doesn't make memories. Presence does. Digar. 6. Ignoring your health until it's a crisis. I know. Doctor visits, exercise, diet changes. It can feel like a full-time job. But here's the hard truth. Nothing is more inconvenient than losing your health. I brushed off my knee pain for years, thinking it was just age. By the time I saw a doctor, the damage was worse, and recovery took years longer than it needed to. Small habits make all the difference. 10 minutes of stretching in the morning, simple, colorful meals instead of processed quick fixes, drinking water before coffee. These little choices add up to energy, mobility, and independence. And let me tell you, feeling in control of your body after 60 is one of the most empowering gifts you can give yourself. Digar, quick check-in. Which of these hit home for you? Saying no, letting go of perfection, or prioritizing your health? Drop me a comment. I read every single one.
7. Holding on to toxic relationships. Not every relationship is meant to last forever, but for years, we've been conditioned to keep the peace, stay loyal, and endure, even when the connection drains us. I had a friend, let's call her Mary. We'd known each other for decades, but every conversation left me feeling smaller. She complained, criticized, and carried negativity like a cloud. One day, I asked myself, why am I spending my precious time with someone who makes me feel less alive? Letting go wasn't easy, but it was freeing. Now I give my energy to people who lift me higher, who bring joy and kindness. After 60, protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's self-care. 8. Believing it's too late to start something new. There's a myth out there that after 60, your life is set in stone, that your chance for new adventures is over. But let me tell you, that couldn't be more wrong. I once joined a painting class just because it sounded fun. Was I any good? Not really. But for the first time in years, I felt like a beginner again. It was exciting. Since then, I've planted a garden, joined a choir, and learned things I never had time for before. Being over 60 isn't about closing doors. It's about opening new ones. And every new interest brings energy, joy, and purpose. You're never too old to learn, try, or begin again. 9. Being afraid of technology. I'll admit it, I used to say, oh, that's not for me. Phones, tablets, even online shopping felt overwhelming. But here's the truth. Avoiding technology after 60 doesn't make life easier. It makes life smaller. My granddaughter was the one who showed me how to video call. Suddenly, I could see her face whenever I wanted. Then I discovered online classes, recipes, even communities of women my age sharing stories. Technology isn't something to fear. It's a bridge to connection, learning, and independence. You don't need to master everything. Start small. Ask for help. But don't shut yourself off from a world that can bring so much joy. Tell me in the comments, which of these resonates with you most? Letting go of toxic people, trying new things, or finally embracing tech? 10. Worrying about what everyone thinks. When we were younger, many of us spent years worrying about approval. What will the neighbors say? Is this outfit too much? Am I being judged? But after 60, none of that truly matters. I once debated wearing a bright floral dress to a formal dinner. My daughter said, "Mom, if it makes you happy, wear it." So I did. And you know what? I got more compliments that night than I could count. The lesson is, live for yourself. Dance even if people are watching. Speak your truth even if it's unpopular. At this stage, your joy matters more than anyone's opinion. 11. Avoiding money conversations. Money is a tricky subject, but pretending it will all just work itself out makes no sense after 60. I've seen friends stressed to tears because they avoided planning. Medical bills, housing costs, or helping family can wipe out savings fast. The most freeing thing I did was I sat down with a financial advisor. We talked about everything: my budget, my savings, even what I wanted to leave behind. It wasn't scary. In fact, it gave me peace of mind. Whether you have a lot or a little, being honest about your finances means you can enjoy life without constant worry. It's not about fear. It's about freedom. 12. Fearing aging itself. Let's be honest, aging has a bad reputation. We're told to fight it, hide it, deny it. But here's the truth. Aging is proof that you have lived, loved, and survived. Every wrinkle is a memory. Every gray hair is a crown. Every year that passes is a victory. I used to dread birthdays. Now, though, I celebrate them because each one means I get more time to laugh, love, and experience life. Aging isn't about losing who you are. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. So, my friends, here's the heart of it. Life after 60 isn't about shrinking yourself, apologizing, or holding back. It's about living boldly, joyfully, and unapologetically. Tell me below, which one of these 12 spoke to you most? I'd love to read your wisdom. If this video resonated, tap that like button so more women like us can see it. And don't forget to subscribe for more conversations like this each week. Because remember this, life after 60 is not the beginning of the end. It's the start of a new chapter, one that you get to write. So let's make it the most beautiful chapter yet.